There's something I've realized over the last few years living in the woods. A lot of people, they're really worried about the future right now. See, they're worried about shortages. They're all worried about our economy. They're all worried about wars. They're all worried about energy prices, the stock market, and all these other things that are happening in the world, oil prices. But the other day I had a thought while I was out gathering some firewood. That's how I heat my house. And it hit me. If you live like I do, you might already be a little more prepared than you think and better off than a lot of other people. One of the biggest changes I've made, I grew up living in the city. I realized how little the news actually matters. It's not because important things aren't happening in the world. It's because sitting around all day in front of your screen, worrying about everything, it's not going to change anything. What will change your life is stepping outside, going for a walk today, sitting out next to a humongous pine tree in a little structure that my kids made. Go build a fort with your kids. Spend some time with your family. The whole world can feel like it's falling apart if you're just sitting there watching a screen all day, every day. But if you just go outside today, even if you don't live in the woods, go find a park or something, do something peaceful outside, and it's going to help. Another thing people worry about right now a lot is food. Prices, they are sure going up, and they probably will go up as oil goes up. People are worried about empty shelves. They have been for years. People have always worried about the supply chain a lot more the last few years. But if you make some changes and grow your own food like I do, you don't really worry about it as much. I'm gonna eat well this year. I have seeds. If you don't have seeds, get seeds. Grow your own food no matter where you live. You can do it. Even people up in Alaska where it's colder than I am right now, grow food. Because when you just become not dependent on the system anymore, you don't worry about it as much. There's other ways to get food than a grocery store. Make a relationship with the local farmer. When it comes from the land and it's local, it's going to be better food and a better product anyway. Energy is another big thing that people are talking about right now. Heating bills are up and people are really worried about them going up next year. Electric bills tend to fluctuate a lot. Fuel costs, if you heat with natural gas or propane, those all fluctuate. But if you heat with wood, really doesn't matter. As long as you have trees, unless a forest fire comes through, I guess there's not a whole lot you can do about that. But it's nature's most renewable resource. I realize that warmth doesn't come from a company. I cut my wood, I stack it, or I should say now I have my kids stack it, and then I burn it. My house is like 75 degrees right now. It feels great in this frozen tundra I'm in to go inside. And there's something deeply satisfying about that, knowing that I can provide and heat my house. Another thing I've realized about people who live this way is simple routines tend to bring them joy. Morning walks, checking on the animals, playing fetch with your dog, drinking coffee when the sun comes up. These small habits just make people happy and they bring peace. Lastly, financial stability. And this is a big one right now. And a big thing I've realized is living below your means. It really doesn't matter how much money you make. You just need to spend less than you take in. You need to keep some cash on hand. But if the stock market drops, you know, you can ride it out if you're into that, as long as you have some sort of an emergency fund set up. But think about ways that you can become debt-free. I'm not trying to brag on this channel that I'm debt-free. I'm blessed to be debt-free, but it brings you a big a big piece not having debt anymore. And like I've shared before, I sold the mansion that I have and moved into a small cabin, and I'm 38 years old and I'm sitting on the ground under a tree, and it's a happy thing. I'd much rather be here than I don't know, in that mansion doing something else. Look, I'm not trying to say moving out into the woods and spending time out in nature is going to solve all of your problems overnight, but it does change something pretty important. It gives you a sense of control. Reminds you that life, it doesn't come from food systems. It comes from a few simple things. It comes from family, it comes from your skills, it comes from land, it comes from hard work, and the faith that all things will work out. And sometimes the most prepared people are the ones who stopped chasing more and started living with less. This is Survival of the Beardist, and I'll catch you in a few more days.